Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. I wanted to start with this tweet from Tony Edward from Thinking Crypto. It says, looks like Bitcoin will be headed to 12,000. Lots of investigations and fines coming to crypto companies. It seems Kraken, Paxos, and Circle, etc. So obviously, we've already discussed in our previous video yesterday about the whole Kraken thing. Brian Armstrong had came out and said that Chairman Gensler and the SEC are coming after staking, right? So if we come over here to CoinGecko, we're currently down negative 5.2%. As you can see, Bitcoin sitting at just in the 21,000s, just below 22,000, and XRP hit for 38 cents. Ethereum sitting at 15, right? So coming over here, this is Hester Pierce from the SEC says, today the SEC shut down Kraken staking program and counted it as a win for investors. I disagree and therefore dissent. Okay, yeah. Counted it as a win for investors. Typical Chairman Gensler from the SEC, man. That's shameful. How is that a win for us? It limits our ability to utilize the assets that we hold to generate income. And I like this right here from Tom Emmer, and then Jeremy Hogan has one as well. But I'm gonna start with Tom Emmer. It says, to be clear, staking enables more people to participate in building the next generation of the internet. Gary Gensler's regulatory purgatory strategy hurts everyday Americans the most, leaving them in the dust while these opportunities are accessible offshore. So, and I put new day coming, question mark. So even Jeremy Hogan hit it on the head right here. He goes, Kraken offers up 20% on stake tokens. Bank of America offers 0.0001% in a paperclip. Of course, SEC would shut it down. So the point is how is this a win for investors? It clearly isn't, and that's the shameful act of Chairman Gensler and the SEC, man. Obviously all we could do is fight the good fight. We can fight from our end, but like we need Congress to put him in the hot seat and figure this out, man. This is crazy. This is from Mr. Intuitive. It says no staking allowed ... until the banks allow it. I mean, quite honestly, that's what we've been talking about on this channel. And I hear other YouTubers talk about it as well. It's like, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the incumbents to get the bigger portion of the pie so they can control the narrative. Coming over here, this from Digital Asset Investor, which he hits it on the head right here too. He goes, hey, Gary Gensler, FTX was staking the FTT token while you were having planning sessions with them. Hey, Congress, when are you going to do something about this walking contradiction and give us that new day? And he's referring to Chairman Gensler's tweet here. It says, today the SEC charged Kraken for the unregistered offer and sale of securities through its staking as a service program. Whether it's through staking as a service, lending, or other means, crypto intermediaries must provide the proper disclosures and safeguards required by our laws. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about Joseph Lubin from Consensus and the co-founder of Ethereum, right? So there's an article right here where Joe Lubin says, Consensus founder Joe Lubin says the chances of Ether being classified as a security in the United States is unlikely as Uber becoming illegal. So here's the thing. Obviously, we know the conflicts of interest, hashtag ETHgate, the closed door, behind closed door meetings, trying to give, not trying to give, actually giving Bitcoin and Ethereum in particular, the regulatory free pass, right? So now they moved from proof of work to proof of stake, right? And obviously there was speculation that the Chairman Gensler and SEC were going to come after Ethereum, but we haven't heard anything. But the fact that he feels so confident that it's not going to be classified as a security is shameful, because if staking just got shut down, right? If staking just got shut down and the network of Ethereum is proof of stake, how would that not be classified as a security? Especially we don't even know who the disguised whales are and how much they have. How much Ether that they have. Obviously, there's people that can find out, but there's no specific number out there. We don't know those numbers yet. Kind of crazy. Continuing forward here, this is from Eleanor Terry. That says, Scoop, Gary Gensler is embarking on Midnight Massacre in an attempt to bring all of crypto under his control. In the coming weeks, this SEC, NYDFS, and this is the comptroller, the Office of the Comptroller, will be bringing pretty much a cornucopia or a bunch of enforcement actions against exchanges and banks. It says, and entities that mint tokens in an attempt to label the majority of them as securities. I'm told Gensler's strategy is to bring as many enforcement actions as possible with the 118th Congress is still getting its bearings. I mean, he's not an idiot. Him and whoever's, pulling his strings and controlling him aren't idiots. They're trying to take advantage as much as they possibly can, especially before he gets thrown out. And as she says here, the 118th Congress is still getting the bearings. Like, they're going to do what they can in the time frame that they can. Almost in a sense, it's like the whole Jay Clayton and the SEC representatives, dropping the lawsuit and walking out the door. It's like they kind of know what they're doing. There's something in their agenda, and they're trying to push a certain narrative, and they're going to do it while they still have the means to do so. It's shameful, man. This is from John Deaton responding to Eleanor's tweet that we just read says, some of us have seen this coming for a long time. It will get worse before it gets better. So I took this and I applied it to what Tony Edward was thinking. Who knows if we're going to go to 12K, but I can definitely see what John Deaton and Tony are thinking here. It's like, we may not see 12K. I don't know. That's just a number that's thrown out there. Quite honestly, it's merely interesting to me personally. I'm a long-term investor in this space. So, but when it comes down to it, it just seems like the way things are written, the way things are being spun out right now, it isn't a coincidence. You know, words mean things, actions mean things, and obviously it looks like a cohorted effort to continue to further suppress the space. In the coming days and weeks, we're going to find out what's going to happen. Obviously, we have the Ripple versus SC case in litigation still, so there's a lot of stuff and a lot of positives still within all the negativity. There's still a lot of positive that can, help the the positive price action within the space. But with Chairman Gensler and SC and all these regulations and these bans and all this stuff, even the verbiage of like agreeing to be like China and ban things, like things are super weird, man. So they're clearly trying to suppress kind of what's happening. Obviously, they know, they see the writing on the wall as well. They see where the future's headed, but they're trying to protect the incumbents and give the power to the incumbents so they can control the narrative. This is from Tony Edward. I like what he said. He says, think about this, folks. Gary Gensler and the SEC could have put out clear guidance on crypto staking and could have given U.S. exchanges a month to update their terms. But instead, they use enforcement to cash grab $30 million and shut down Kraken staking. Man, it's... the most hurtful part about it that I think is from the crypto community itself. Okay. And just a perfect example, when the lawsuit was dropped on Ripple, the Ripple versus SC, the lawsuit that was dropped by Chairman Clayton as he walked out the door, right? John Deaton saw a need, right? So he stepped up on his own, efforts and on his own time to fight the good fight, right? And he was screaming and shouting from the rooftops that this was more than just Ripple and XRP. It was bigger. It was for the entire industry. It was for, cryptocurrency and blockchain in the United States, and which could affect, the global aspect of it as well. He was screaming that and saying, hey, we need to stand together. We need to fight. But there was people within our industry that were laughing at us, laughing at him, saying, XRP is crap, but poop coin, and Ripple's a scam and a Ponzi scheme and all these different things, right? But instead of seeing what he was saying and really interpreting it and doing their own due diligence, they turned a blind eye. And now we're to the point now to where we're, in a sense, grasping for straws and trying to grab any lifeline that we possibly can. Thank God we have John Deaton fighting the good fight, and Jeremy Hogan and all the great YouTubers and people out there on Twitter doing research and all that stuff. Thank God we have the community we have that is bringing whatever fight that we can bring to try to help influence, regulations and the impact that things going to have on crypto and blockchain within the United States. I'm so glad that we have them, and I'm going to continue to make videos because I think it's highly important, and I enjoy doing this. Just like a conversation, like I tell you all the time, this is what this channel is bringing out information and news that I think is relevant. I want to have a conversation on it, and I want to bring it out. But it's just shameful that, our own community couldn't even come together. They see, oh, well, you like XRP. Well, I like Solana. Well, I like Ethereum. It's like, no, it does. You can like whatever you want, but just realize we're all on the same team. And that's just the most shameful thing. Chairman Gensler is no surprise at this point. I'm not surprised by anything shady that he does. It is what it is at this point. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Are we going to see a 12K? Are we going to drop below? I don't know. It's going to be a waiting game. This is from Digital Asset Investor. Says, the second the SEC has almost all digital assets classified as securities, you'll see the most pro-crypto agency on the planet as it hands this new asset class off to Wall Street. So that's literally what we were just talking about, the incumbents, right? Hopefully the judge in SEC versus Ripple is about to deliver a SEC smackdown for the ages. And man, that is what we're praying for, man. And you know what? It looks like it's in our favor. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if the government pulls something out of their butts to kind of spin the narrative back in their favor. Who knows? Obviously, we covered this one from Cointelegraph. I don't know how he is so confident outside of, the deals that he had. Obviously, they got the Ethereum free pass from William Hinman and the SEC. But looking at it now, transitioning from proof of work to proof of stake, and now staking being banned, I just don't know. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big Ethereum fan, and I hodl some Ethereum, so I don't know. Now, on a positive note, we're going to end on this. This is from Brad Garlinghouse. So shout out Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple. So stepping back from a moment for what's happening in the U.S. Just in the last few weeks, the number of positive, or at least headed in the direction of clarity, global regulatory development is energizing. One, continuing its history of being tech forward, Dubai just published an extensive new set of tech agnostic rule books for crypto market participants, covering compliance standards, advertising, issuance, and much more. Australia's Treasury is looking to reform licensing and custody for crypto and bolster consumer protection. They recently published a token mapping consultation and are looking for public input before updating existing frameworks. The UK's HMT's new consultation reflects the government's intent to establish a proportionate, clear framework that allows firms to innovate while maintaining financial stability, and opt for the UK to become a global crypto hub, as it previously announced its goal was to be. South Korea's Financial Services Commission published guidelines that delineate what would be considered a security token versus a payment token, and how those are separately governed. The list goes on. Brazil's new legislative framework, etc. Note the commonalities. These regulators are providing leadership and doing the work that we are desperately missing in the U.S. Unsurprisingly, this is where companies like Ripple are going. Ooh, oh man. If Ripple goes elsewhere, man, that is the ultimate fumble in fumble history. God forbid that happens, but hey, it is what it is. They got to do what they got to do. They're a business. They got to do what's best for them, and their customers. This is from XRP Crypto. It says, our best hope to stop the SEC if Ripple win the XRP lawsuit. I mean, literally, this would be tragic. This would be absolutely tragic. But yeah, if I come over here, look at the, I hate when these ads pop up. This is the Bitcoin Fair Greed Index. We were just at a 55. I watched it as it ticked down earlier, and we were just at a 55, and now we're in the neutral. So are we going to see more downside? I don't know. Let me refresh this before we go here. We'll see where we're at. We're at minus. So we're still down negative 5.2. Just a waiting game to kind of see what happens. But that's what I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto is Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Crypto is Key 1. I really appreciate your support out there, you guys. With all that being said, stay strong out there and be safe.